Hi, my name is Sarah. Now, as we think about your move to secondary school, we're going to think about 3 words. The first one we're going to think about is changes. Now, when you move to secondary school, there are going to be lots of changes. Some changes you might find really easy, some you might find strange, and they might feel more difficult. We're going to start with a game to help us think about changes. I'm going to show you how to play the game, and then you can have a go yourself. I'm going to change some things about my appearance. Some things may seem obvious, some might seem a bit more subtle, and you need to guess what has changed. So try and remember, what do I look like? And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, can you guess what's changed? So that was a bit of an obvious one, but let's have one more go. I'm going to change several things this time. Some might be obvious, some might be a little bit more tricky to spot. So remember what I look like again, and in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so there are actually 5 things that have changed. Have you spotted them? There is the hat, there are the glasses, my hair has changed to the other side, my sleeve is up, and the really tricky one, I've taken my earrings out. Now, why don't you have a go at this game? If you've got people with you, why don't one of you go and stand outside the room, change something or a few things about your appearance, come back in and see if everyone else can guess what you have changed. Pause the video and have a go at this game. Some changes in our lives we may hardly notice. Some changes can be so blaringly obvious. I wonder what you think is going to change when you go to your new school. Are you going to have to wear a completely different uniform? Are you going to have to travel a different way? Is your work going to be different? Are you going to have new friends? Why don't you see if you can think of all the things that might change? You could write them down in the booklet, or you could use your own piece of paper. Pause the video while you do this. In the Bible, there are lots of stories of people who faced change. One of those people was Joseph. Like lots of us, Joseph went through many changes in his life. Some of those changes were good, some were bad. At times the changes may have made him feel very hopeless, and some must have been really exciting. However, the thing that helped him most through all the changes was his trust and friendship with God. There's going to be changes for you moving schools, and perhaps some of those seem unknown as well. 2020 has been a year that no one expected, and the coronavirus has brought change to everyone's life in some way. And it may also mean that we're facing changes that no one in our family or friendship groups have actually faced before. So it's really important that you can think of some people that you can go to for support and to talk to if you're struggling with any of those changes. Let's hear from some of my friends about what has helped them get through changes in their lives.
So when things are changing in my life, I like to try my best to focus on the positives rather than the negatives. So this includes thinking about things like who I might meet, what new experiences I might have, what I might learn from this experience. And I also like to remember that in the Bible it tells us that Jesus never changes. So whatever we're going through, he's always there and he never leaves us.
I think what helps me most when I face changes in life is knowing that I'm not on my own, and that whatever happens, even if I get things wrong or I find that I'm struggling to cope, I've always got God to turn to. And that is a great comfort if I'm anxious about a change or something like that. So I think I'd sum it up by saying that you're never alone in life, and that means that I'm able to face changes with some confidence, even though I may be a little anxious.
When I face changes in my life, one of the things that I like to do is talk to God by praying and asking Him to help guide me in that change. And the other thing I like to do is try and talk to people who've maybe gone through something similar. So if I'm moving house, talk to someone who's moved maybe to the area that I'm going to. Whether that's someone that I know personally or looking online, like on YouTube or something like that.
I don't think anybody really likes facing changes. It's a lot easier just to go on doing the same things that you've always done. But actually that doesn't lead to a very exciting life. So what I remember when I'm faced with a change is that I look back at what I've done before, about the different changes that I've already been through, and I realise that actually they were scary at the time, but actually they were quite good in the end. And it's just worth remembering that. Particularly if you want an exciting life. One thing that Jesus says that I love is that He says that He came to give us life and life to the full. He doesn't want us to have an ordinary, just doing the same kind of thing life. He wants us to have life to the full, and that involves change. So just looking back and remembering, did it before, you'll be able to do it again, and it'll be okay.
In life, when I face change, especially change that I don't want, that I don't like, I always sit down and think about the good opportunities that will come as a result of the change. Just because originally something seems like a bad change, something that's going to have a bad impact on you, doesn't mean that there aren't good situations that will come out of it. Another key thing to do is talk to people, your parents, your friends, your teachers, people you know. Talk to them about what you think of the change, ask them for help, for guidance. And in a way, that's what I do with God as well. I pray about a change. I pray for hope, for love, and for understanding of what I'm going through. And I know that with God, it becomes better.
Knowing that God is right there by my side through the changes that I face in my life, both in good and more difficult situations, He reminds me that I am never alone. For example, when I was a teenager, I had a big change where I moved from the countryside to a place near London. And at the time I was really scared. I was really worried about going somewhere so different to what I was used to. But actually I look back at that and realise how much God was part of that. It was part of God's plan for my life and how much He was with me every step of the way.
Starting something new can be really worrying because you don't know what it will be like, and you can start to doubt yourself and feel you can't cope. So here are my 3 top tips for coping with change in something new in your life, such as going to high school. Number 1, find out as much as you can about it. So if it's a new school, maybe have a look at their website or talk to older brothers, sisters or friends who go there already. Number 2, find a friend to face the change and challenges together with. So for example, for high school, maybe you have a friend in your current school who's going to the same high school as you, and you could work together and team up to face the changes and challenges ahead. Number 3, talk through any fears or worries you have with a trusted adult. That might be a parent at home, or it might even be your current Year 6 teacher. They will have been through many changes and challenges in their lives, including high school, and they'll be able to reassure you that most of the things you're worried about probably aren't anything to worry about at all.
We all deal with changes in different ways, but something that can be a really good habit to try and get into is to think positively and to think of some good things that might happen because of a change. I wonder if you know what happens to a caterpillar. It turns into a chrysalis, something that seems almost dead, but then it emerges as something beautiful. It completely changes into a butterfly. It's pretty amazing. And just think, if that caterpillar refused to change, it would never be able to fly. If you can embrace these changes, who knows what they will grow you into? So, to finish our changes video, I've got an activity for you to do. You want to make a butterfly shape. You could draw one, or you could print out our template a bit like this one. Have a think about what you're looking forward to in your new school. Is there a new lesson you're excited about trying? Are you looking forward to meeting new people and making new friends? Is there a club that you can't wait to join? Are you feeling ready to be a bit more independent? It could be anything, and it can be more than one thing as well. What you want to do is write or draw those things on your butterfly. Decorate it, colour it in, and make sure you keep it. In September, if you feel a little bit nervous about those changes, you can remind yourself of the good changes that you are looking forward to. So why don't you have a go at that activity, and we will see you in our next video, which is all about challenges.